this was our town. One heist gone bad, now we're hiding and biding our time. The guild, shadow of what it used to be. It's a tough time to be a thief in a bar's landing. But this is where fortunes are made. Learn quick, and nothing will be out of your reach. Over here! Rebuilding the guild is the only way. We need to bide our time, and then strike. This was our town. And so it will be again.
Hello everyone, this is your host, Forgotten Furion, the Unfindable Filcher. And I'm back to tell you a little story from my youth. And this will be about the Thieves Guild ring that I created. And yeah, I mean that in the literal sense, alright? Not just otherwise. But let me go ahead and tell y'all what day today is. Now, some may recall that I like the number 5 from some of my earlier videos. My middle name means 5th of an order. So, also I don't care if anybody figures out my name. You could take my fingerprints, I don't care. Here, you want an eye retina scan? I don't care. But anyway, my middle name means 5th of an order, so I like the day 5, number 5. But today is International Ninja Day, and it's observed on December 5th. How to observe? Well, dress like a ninja, walk like a ninja, ayo, talk like a ninja. Or just watch a ninja movie. Hopefully even all 3. The history of International Ninja Day is that it was created in 2003 by Ninja Burger, the company, as a way to celebrate the ninja speed with which their burgers are delivered. And as would happen on one of my cat burgling runs with my youngest brother, my second youngest brother, who was like more into cat burgling and hitting houses and cars, whereas I was more into like jewel thieving, if you will, by hitting businesses and working in stealth, whereas he was just smash and grab. Okay, so yes, I'm sure you were all wondering, what does he mean? What does ninja burgers have to do with anything? Well, answer, I burgled me some hams. Okay, I'm a ham burglar, a literal hamburger. I burgled a ham. So, I was literally committing burglary and I stole the ham. So, what's up? Alright? And no, I wasn't wearing no stupid hat or stupid suit. But alright. I was homeless at the time because I ran away because I didn't want to kill my single mother raised dad, so I ran away because I didn't want that on my conscience, right? But as it would happen, there was a homeless female. Oh, well, my brothers ended up following me, I guess, because they didn't want to catch my beatdowns. I can't blame them. That's, you know, whatever. For all I know, they was plotting on killing them too. I don't know. But it turns out that this girl who was like, we knew when we were 16, who my twin brother banged. My twin brother banged her and slanged her, right? Well, I saw her about last year, okay? And no, it was earlier this year. And we hadn't seen her since I was 16, right? And it turned out that this guy had picked her up and like, hey, you know, all I heard him say was, hey, I can help you, and did you know? And let me take you, and that was it. Well, it's come to find out that there were shelters for minors that lasted till 21 for people whose parents didn't care, or whose parents were intolerable to be around like mine. So, but nobody told me, but I knew at least 3 different women who got told that. And I know because they're the ones that told me, like, oh, you didn't go to the shelters? I was like, there are shelters? I was sleeping in a tent and fishing all day. What are you talking about? Or stealing food. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Tossing a smoke grenade!
We'll come to find out, okay? But Yeah, my youngest brother, he can pick locks. My dad said there's no lock that he can't really pick that he knows of. And the same with me. When I was his age, I could pick way better. But the idea is all you need is a tension wrench and a pick. And then all you have to do is have basic knowledge of locks, how to pick up the tumbler, pin tumbler, and then push it over a little bit with the tension wrench, and then on your last pin, it clicks over. I kicked down a door with a bolt lock, just kicked it straight down. So I don't need that, but yeah, okay. So we used to hit cars with my second youngest brother. He would always do the cars, man. And I thought that was more dangerous, but it was more high yield, I guess, because you get direct cash or whatever, or stereos back when that was the thing. But it was more dangerous because somebody might like to try to bust a cap or stick their dog on you, both of which happened. But some of the times we took him on the runs because I was a mastermind of the whole thing. I thought up the tools, like, because we had to do it in perfect silence. But anybody who knows about Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, so forth, they had these special cases that were like real thick and they had hinges on them. But we had to like break the hinges with like special quiet bolt cutter plier things, and then like use like them tiny screwdrivers to use them like tiny pry bars, and we had to do it all in perfect silence. So, but I figured out a rotating way of see, I started it, but there was a guy who was our transportation guy. He was a grown-up, and I was living with this dude paying rent with stealing stuff, right? But the transportation guy, it turned out 2 of our crew members also came by way of relation to him, because that's how I met him. I was friends with them, and then they introduced me to him, and then I introduced him to my stealing, and then he was like, hey, you know, I could help you ratchet this up for a fee. And I'm like, you don't say. I've got all the plans already in place. And so I was like, I already had it mapped out and everything. But we used to do gas runs, which is where you don't pay for your gas. So it was like 400% profit. Good times. But the FBI wound up looking for us, okay? That's how, it's not a joke. Like, I might be self-incriminating, but they can blow me. I don't care. Y'all can have my fingerprints. Y'all want a retina scan? You can get a penis scan if you need one of those too. I don't care. But whatever, right? So anyway, Blockbuster, it was a company that was based in America, started in Texas, and they did video game rental services. They had rental shops. They did DVD by mail, streaming, video on demand, stuff like that. And they filed in bankruptcy in like the 2000s, which is right around the time that Netflix came out. You know, it was post-chill and pre-Netflix era, so they were already getting hit. But we went ahead and, I guess we smelled blood. So we just went ahead and hunted them to extinction, you feel me? But yeah, man, so your boy's a legitimate Lamarck, because we got out right before because I was like, man, this is getting too hot. So, for whatever reason it was. And so come to find out after the fact, the FBI was looking for us, so whatever. And they wouldn't have had any evidence whatsoever, except for my brother wanted to do a smash and grab. And then we went back to this place, the same place we smash and grab. I said we shouldn't. And then they caught a picture of someone's hand, and that's it. And it was like, ooh, you know, you got a picture of a hand. It's like, yeah, but, you know, so, and they never pushed it. If that would have had anything, they would have pushed it. But they did. But it was funny because even that, we had to go against my rules just for them to get that. So it was very sophisticated for a couple of kids stealing. But anyway, our transportation dude, he was like our cover guy, because he was like, oh yes, everything is up to normal. It's quite normal, or nothing going on here. But okay. So I used to do a lot of smash and grabs though, and that's where I started doing parkour. Did I already read? Okay, so parkour is a training discipline using movement that developed from military obstacle course training. Practitioners aim to get from one point to another in a complex environment without assistive equipment and in the fastest and most efficient way possible. Parkour includes running, climbing, swinging, vaulting, jumping, and rolling, that's my favorite, and quadrupedal movement. and other movements as deemed suitable for the situation. Parkour's development from military training gives it some aspects of a non-combative martial art. Speaking of which, I got in a lot of fights in my life. See my other videos where I mentioned Bagua Chang, as it's called. And also when I was out with my brother, it was more, his stuff was more risky, right? So we had our like little diversive crew. It was more like spy versus spy stuff, jewel thieving type stuff, where it was like ultra silent, right in front of your face kind of stuff. Whereas his stuff was like lurking in the night, kicking in the window when you're at work, and like going or throwing a rock through the window, rather not kicking because that's dangerous, but and then just burgling your house while you're at work, or wait until it's nighttime and you're sleeping and steal your radio and your wallet. But any of you all who are like, oh, I'm sick of somebody stole my car or burgled my house or whatever, deal with it, okay? I guarantee you it wasn't a woman. You know why? Because just like those girls, somebody's gonna run over there, oh sweetheart, do you need help? But if it's a man, or a boy rather, oh well, they don't say jack. So forget you. Anybody who's mad that their stuff got stolen, buy insurance. Quit being a cheapskate.
Ready.
Alright. Because it was probably an alternate version of me that did it. Because their single mother-raised parent treated them like dirt. They got sick of it. Society treated them like dirt and left them to starve to death. You know, I was fishing and stealing to survive. No one told me, hey, did you know that you can get your teeth fixed? That you get your wisdom teeth pulled by the time you're 21? I would have done that, and I would never be who I am right now. I would be somebody more like you guys. Less volatile. Alright? But nah, instead, I had to live like a freaking Sasquatch because no one cared to say, hey, little boy, did you know? Because they didn't care. If I had a vagina, they would care. So forget y'all. Like I said, get insurance, you know. And if you're mad somebody keeps vandalizing, good for them. I hope they vandalize you vandalize all of your shops and your house and flat your tires for no reason. Why? Because they're lashing out because no one cares about them. Yeah, y'all done created a generation of little monsters and we think it's funny. And now that we are adults, like me, you know, I'm 30 years old. Do I sound like a 30-year-old to you? What you would think is a 30-year-old? Or do I sound like somebody finna put their foot in your ass? That's right. Alright. So I had to steal to survive. So all you domesticated cattle people who were like, oh, you know, I got to be normal and harmless and scrawny and weak and backbiting and cowardly. Well, guess what? I don't put up with it. Now I'd hunt you guys for fun. Y'all's girls to me. But okay, what is a Thieves Guild that I mastermind, right? Because, I mean, it was funny because we was listening to our music and chilling and just hanging out and robbing people blind. Mostly I'd hit businesses because I had like an ethical thing. Because I didn't want to steal from people who it might affect children. Because like I said, I was a beat up runaway, so I didn't want to mess with children, like possibly affect them. But my younger brother was a little bit more cutthroat, so whatever, that's y'all's problem. But anyway, a Thieves Guild is a trope consisting of a formal association of criminals who participate in theft-related organized crime in works of contemporary fantasy fiction such as Farfield and the Grey Mouser story, Thieves House by Fritz Leiber, and similarly themed fantasy role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons and my favorite, Elder Scrolls Online. Though these more modern works are fictitious, there are real-world examples as well, such as Jonathan Wild and his gang of thieves. Alright, this is Forgotten Furion, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
We searched cancer. All my friends are heathens, take it slow.